back in the amateurs at 85 kilo 3 times 2-minute rounds. We have Billy Kaminskas fighting out of Hammerhead, Dublin, taking on Michael Duffy fighting out of Academy 1. And again, heavily taped up shins for Duffy.
Round 1.
Giving you the impression that he is a heavy kicker.
There we go, straight up southpaw orthodox again. Guys seem a little bit more relaxed, which is great to see. And these are amateurs. This is where, again, we'll see the level of experience of these guys. But I like the composure.
More so rangefinders being thrown right now, trying to settle into the groove of the fight.
A little bit of switch hitting there, southpaw and orthodox, but we'll see if it's effective. He seems to be a natural southpaw.
Nod of acknowledgement from Kaminskas there.
What we call an inside leg kick, we call that a hack. Again, not a game change, not going to stop a match, but it'll build and set up the combinations going forward.
Yeah, money in the bank moving forward.
Again, switch hitting, I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or he's trying to pick his technique.
Kaminskas doubling up on the kicks.
Good, nice score.
Again, Kaminskas using any strike from Duffy as the stimulus with which to reply.
Again, nice trade-off. Again, this is the archetypal match, orthodox versus southpaw. Big back leg kicks. We can see them low kicks coming into effect, but Duffy seems to be going a little bit too low below the knee, almost in an MMA-esque kind of inner calf kick. Like, it's not a sweep, and you see him missing. He's going to the knee there sometimes as well.
The calf kick is something that we've seen used ad nauseum to great effect in MMA.
Yeah.
Not so much in Muay Thai.
No, and I think, Jen, I've talked about this with some of my fighters. I think it's probably because we throw a lot of kicks in Thai boxing.
Yeah.
You get a lot of kicks, so you check a lot, you switch a lot, you evade kicking a lot. So it's still used. You do it, you can do it, but we're actually trying to do as much damage as possible to the place where you get least kicked in training, which is the inside of the thigh. Now, the calf kick seems to be that really judges, and they're trying to score. Nobody can actually watch two fighters at the same time. A fighter grabs the attention, maybe in seconds and in pockets of seconds, but you can only focus on one. The person that has the best style, there we go. You're going to end up getting the judges on your side just by a flair and effect.
It's those little moments, those little microaggressions, if you will, that win the fight.
Absolutely. And then putting together into that's what we're looking at, this style, because we're looking at consistency, and that's how we build on the style. Again, we see Duffy kind of switch hitting, but for no real reason. I think he'd have more effect if he stayed southpaw and just let that left leg go. Again, we'll see when he's walking forward, he has that like sort of a little shuffle. He's got to be careful not to walk too casually forward. Always be conscious that Kaminskas is dangerous with them legs. Duffy caught again in that square on stance. He's got to be careful. Even if he doesn't get hit with it, he's paralyzing himself for his next move. Again, we're in orthodox, but for no strategic reason. Duffy seems to be a natural southpaw and seems to change for some unknown reason.
He finds himself falling into the trope of standing very square on his feet.
Yeah. You might get away with that if you are doing what Kaminskas is doing and dominating the match. You can control, and maybe slightly unorthodox, but you generally find you're going to be quite nimble at checking and stab teeping if the feet are quite close together. Other than that, you're just going for an interview to be a Penny's mannequin or a Primark mannequin.
I like the way you changed that to make that reference cross borders. Thank you very much, Mark.
I'm only saying that because my partner's away in Germany and she was in Primark today.
Nice work from Kaminskas. Again, swing and a miss, but he is throwing more than single shots at a time and finishes the round with something definitive. He got the reaction he wanted.
That was probably, we've seen a few spin back kicks. Used to be one of my favorite techniques in Olympic Taekwondo, and I can say that was a very nice shot. He got hit.
Third and final round here at Deliverance. Phil Campbell, Mark Castley on the call. Thoroughly enjoying the fight so far.
Third and final round.
Duffy needs to be wary of dropping those hands when he's throwing kicks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's been a common theme across the whole evening, is a slightly lower hands on most fighters. Again, he's getting it there. Duffy throwing that left kick. A few more of them, and a little bit more accuracy when Duffy throws his left kick to the inner leg of Kaminskas. Again, he's hitting with his ankle to the shin. I think they're the silly injuries that you're going to feel the next day. Not from a kick, but you kind of slightly invert your ankle or sprain a toe.
There's the difference between essentially what you would call a straight leg kick and turning it over on the hip.
Oh, it's a world apart. Yeah, a world of difference. Again, I can remember to the day getting hit with my proper a proper leg kick in pro Thai boxing, and I remember to this day, and that was maybe 20 years ago, down in Cork on possibly a Martin Horgan show, fighting a British fighter whose name escapes me, but when he connected, from that day forth, I changed the way I kicked.
You don't remember the name, but you remember the kick. That speaks dividends.
It was Ollie something or other, and I knew he was going to be tough because he was back from the Russian Grand Prix and stopped off in London for a day and just flew straight off to Dublin, to Cork. So that's how a leg kick can change things. It changed the way I fought. It made me a little bit more intent to hurt when I kicked, which is what I'd love to see Duffy do a little bit. Like, we can see Kaminskas has the legs, but what I'd love to see Kaminskas do a little bit more is have the intent to hurt. The will and the intent.
And just how, we've talked about effective striking, but just how highly is aggression scored?
Aggression in the context of aggression used intelligently with technique. It's clean, effective scoring, damage scoring. So kicking and damaging something is the highest criteria of scoring, which naturally comes with aggression. Now, that aggression can sometimes come through visibly on the fighter, but you generally see